I should also stress, on a negative side of things, it was literally, I was walking out the stadium and I saw that Spurs had tweeted about that Sonny had been subjected to racist abuse online. I cannot for the life of me ever get in the mindset of someone that would do that. I just cannot. I don't understand where that comes from. I don't understand why any human being on earth would do it. I just don't get it. It's like they use football and social media as a vehicle just to kind of spew out their very unpleasant beliefs and thoughts. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And there just doesn't seem to be any real consequences for people like that. They do it, they get banned maybe, and they just set up another account under a new kind of IP address or something. There's just always ways around it. I see it every day on social media. I see the very dark and unpleasant side to it. And like I say, we're at the match, so we don't really see what goes on social media. So I'm not even aware of what was said and anything like that. But the fact that Spurs have had to come out and comment on it shows that obviously it's taken place, and it's disgusting. How are we as a society, how are we as a world still got people like that able to do that? It's just, or even, why are they thinking to do it? Oh, sorry, I could rant forever about that disgusting side of humanity, and I just don't get it. I don't get it, what kind of person you'd have to be. I'd love to say it's a lack of education or something like that, and to try and put some label or explanation on it, but then you see people that are perfectly educated doing it, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's horrible, and I just wish it could be just stamped out entirely. But yes, I want to focus on the positive song, because it was excellent. It came on, it was so good, and he should never have to go through anything like that ever. I'm going to start with the players. There's only one man I can start with, and rightly so. It has to be Emerson Royal. Honestly, he's becoming a cult hero. He is. The transformation is incredible. He is so confident. We all love an underdog story, and that's really what's happened with Emerson Royal. I can only keep repeating that we cast our minds back to that moment against Leeds when the entire stadium was ironically cheering him off the pitch because they just wanted to see him off the pitch and replaced. And here we are. What was that? That was November, wasn't it? And here we are in February. Spurs have signed a £40 million right wing back that everyone wanted. He cannot get in the team because Emerson Royal has been so good. He really has. And it's honestly, it's lovely for him, because you won't find many more hard-working players in that Tottenham squad, many more popular players in that squad. Even when he wasn't playing, he is a smiling presence, pushing other players on. He's got this lots of the other players have spoken about this kind of drive and hunger he's got in the dressing room. It doesn't matter whether he's playing or not, he just pushes everyone on. He doesn't sit there and sulk. And that's why you see, when he scored that goal, the delight of his teammates. They just bombarded him from all sides. Look, we know he's not that well versed in the ways of attacking. He's not. Excuse me. Even yesterday, there were moments that arise in every game he plays where the ball is passed to him on the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side, and he doesn't really know what to do with it. He'll hesitate. He might play, you might have just heard indie bark in the background, which means my wife's home. Don't worry, he's with my daughter. I haven't left him on his own. You'll see him just hesitate with the ball, Emerson, not Indy. And he'll kind of be torn between, do I run with it, do I cross with it, or do I just play a safe pass to someone? And he often will take the latter. If you look at his crossing stats, I'd imagine, and this is based on most of the ones I see, he doesn't cross the ball in that much. He will look to pass it on to someone who can do that, I suppose in his mind, better than he can. But, and I've said this before, he's just got a fantastic instinct for attacking movement. Whether he doesn't know what to do with the ball when it comes to him, although he did yesterday, very much so, He's just got this ability to time his runs and know when the attack demands him to be in the box. It's something clearly they've worked on with him, and he is absolutely taken everything on board. And it massively bore fruit yesterday. There was none of this deer in the headlights look that he can be when he's on the edge of the box. He was very much, he saw Davies running. And actually, there was a moment in the first half, I think it was, when Davies slung in a cross and the only person in the box was Emerson. All the other three attackers were outside the box. So it very much shows that he's tuned in to knowing when to make that run. And so yesterday, when he saw Davies setting off, bang, it's like jet heels. He was off. And that moment, just to be there, it was a lovely finish. I can't praise it highly enough. The composure of the finish. It was a clean contact. It wasn't even like it was a scruffy miss. It was a really nice finish, and one that any of the strikers would have been absolutely proud of. Steenie was asked about it being the perfect wing-back goal, and he said, to play wing-back to wing-back and to score is one of our targets, one of our requests for the team. Also, using the wing-backs to come inside and create the space for players like Decky and Sonny to affect the space and play. Now we have to continue to be consistent in our performances because we've reached 4th place, and to stay, we know very well we have to perform like today. So yeah, like I say, Emerson was mobbed, absolutely mobbed. He'd run over to point to his family. There's a reason for that coming in a moment. But honestly, it was the most violent goal celebration among a bunch of teammates I've ever seen. So Richarlison ran over to him and grabbed his shirt, like a really fierce grip, to which Emerson responded by grabbing Richarlison by the throat. But then in the background, classic Christian Romero, he just runs up and boots Emerson in the backside. It's like, I can't get around all these players. I'm just going to kick you around them all in the backside. Christian Romero, he is that sibling. The one who would always give everyone a dead arm. And I've said it before, I think he likes to hurt people in an affectionate manner. Honestly, it's like, that's how you know he loves you. If he gives you a whack, you know that he's fond of you. And I don't mean like a whack kind of tackle, like an affectionate whack. And he's always, I remember Dyer scoring and he slaps him on the head. I think Sonny had a slap in the head, and it was after he'd fractured his cheekbone as well. And then he finishes off his celebrations with Emerson yesterday by putting a head-to-head and almost butting him away with his head. It was so weird, yet so Romero. It's very funny. And I didn't realise at the time, Emerson didn't even notice that Romero had kicked him in the backside. It was only, he put a video, someone must have shared a clip with him, and he put a video on his Instagram story of the moment that Romero runs up and kicks him. And he put the caption underneath, "Cootie, I'm going to kill you," with laughy faces. It's just this weird, dysfunctional relationship. But yeah, it was quite funny. It was. Oh, and what I was saying about the family stuff, he did the old classic celebration. He asked for a ball boy for the ball, shoved it under his top to make like a pregnant belly, and pointed, I think he did the old thumb in the mouth as well. And it turns out that he is going to become a dad. 24 years old, he's going to become a dad for the first time. His girlfriend is expecting a little boy, apparently. So that's lovely news, and what a brilliant way to celebrate that as well. Yeah. And what was also really nice was, you think back to those cheers, the ironic cheers that he got when he came off against Leeds. And what happened yesterday, it was essentially the Emerson Royale Appreciation Society. Everyone had membership cards, laminated membership cards. They were singing, "He scores when he wants, Emerson Royale, he scores when he wants." That was just, that must have lifted him so much. Well, it did. You could see it on the pitch. I've never seen a player's confidence so high. He was doing everything. Perfect sliding tackles, which were getting huge cheers. Interceptions. He did his customary one no-look pass he does every game. I swear he just does it for the highlights reel. It can be the most pointless no-look pass in the world. There can be no one around him that's even going to be fooled by it, but he'll still do it just for that highlights reel. And I'm absolutely there for it. It's fantastic.